Good evening, and welcome again to another edition of the HideNet Sunday Night Weekend Review. My name is Don Oshman, Editor-in-Chief and Publisher of HideNet Market Reports. We had some technical difficulties tonight, which made it impossible for us to show our normal opening, but things that you don't expect happen, like Seattle beating the Broncos by a large margin in the Super Bowl today. In Europe, Craig Rolson reports that the raw stock market was relatively dull this week and quiet. The Brussels hide auctions were reinstated, that's raw hides, and many Europeans left over the weekend or late this past week for India and the fair in Chennai, which is a growing, expanding event. Italy was the number 3 largest buyer of U.S. wet blue in the reports that came out Thursday. Interesting, the vealskin market has a little bit of an easier undertone in Europe, and at the same time there are articles about the growth projected in the luxury sector is not as fantastic as it has been. In the sheepskin business, the UK sheep market is a little bit softer, but not on the Entrefino Spanish lambs, which are good. And the forecast for the market raw material in Europe is, what do I call it, lackluster, steady, just seeing what's going to go happen, wait, watch, and wait. Craig wrote a great editorial about protectionism rears its head again, Argentina and the EU. Because these countries want to have an adequate supply of raw stock, especially when we're at historically high prices, and the tanners can't afford to import them from one country to another like they did before from the producing countries. In North America this week, the market was firm to higher. Heavy steer hides went up, and the cow market went up. The big news was NBP closed one of their packing plants. That was a small one, a relatively small one in Brawley. We talk about that. And most important, the federal inspected slaughter, maybe not most important, but very interesting. The federally inspected slaughter for the week dropped to 566,000 head. Normally, by now, it would be 600, 625. It's about 10% below last year. Also, the government reported that the January cattle inventory is down 1% to the lowest it's been since 1951. So any resurgence of cattle supply, and therefore hide supply, is a long way coming. Combined raw and wet blue outstanding, still to be shipped, were up 4%. Combined raw and wet blue shipments were up 22%. Sales exceeded slaughter a considerable amount. We sold a lot more hides for export domestically than were produced, and it was also in excess of shipments. The forecast, it's the waiting game, and that's discussed in detail at our market report. A little brief commercial here, HideNet.com, where you're looking at this report. Go to our website, HideNet.com. If you haven't got our reports already, sign up for a free trial. Free. What can you lose? But what can you gain is what subscribers in over 60 countries around the world gain by market information that helps them buy better and sell better. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Latin America this week, David Holtz reports that fresh hide prices were basically steady in Brazil, but they were up a little bit in Argentina. TR1 prices were over 280 square foot now and rising. The Latin American market is generally firm, but at higher record prices. Slaughter is up in Brazil, but down in Argentina for various and sundry reasons, in part because of the peso devaluation. That the peso devaluation has had an impact throughout the whole region, as many wonders what's going to happen to Argentina now, and many companies in Brazil and Colombia and other ways are concerned about, will the contracts they have with Argentina vis-a-vis the valuation be consummated? We make a deal, the peso goes down the tubes. Are we still going to ship? Are we still going to sell? Are we still going to buy? In This Week in Leather, the headline is that China now dictates, if you want to build a new tannery in China, they're talking about having a minimum volume, and of course the pollution equipment. So you have to have so many hides a week or a month to qualify for a permit. There's also an authenticity licensing system proposed for the EU. If it's really leather, there's a report on the Chinese shoe sales, leather shoe sales. What Vietnam did in 2013. There's an exclusive report from our Lee Corson, who covers the leather furniture markets around the world. Says that gives us an exclusive Las Vegas show report. Coach numbers sag, and there was an ISBS survey on U.S. leather goods and the luggage. What's going on in manufacturing in the United States? Very interesting report. Raw materials prices are still at new records, and looking ahead, we talk about no relief in sight. This jacket I'm wearing, I hope you like it, cost $5. Why did we buy it? Because it was $5. competition for all leather products can be made by cheap. If you can buy something, even if you don't need it too bad, and it's cheap enough, you're going to buy it. What's that mean to leather? It's such a luxury product now that the higher prices get, the less people are going to buy it. There are absolutely no bargains and no anticipated price relief due to the supply situation and the demand for luxury, which is still adequate to take up all the supplies in the world. So the idea of selling cheap just because it's not leather is a great competitor to leather, but by the same token, leather, luxury, if you got the money, you're going to buy leather. Anyhow, more information, again, free market reports, www.HideNet.com. Don't miss it, and don't miss the profits you can make. Thanks for watching.